evening, everyone. Would everyone in the auditorium and at home please stand, rise, and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. The national anthem is being provided by the Lackawanna Trail Concert Band under the direction of Mr. Kevin Dykeman, and will be immediately followed by the Lackawanna Trail High School alma mater, performed by the Madrigal Choir under the direction of Ms. Jillian Roya. Thank you very much to our concert band and the Madrigal Choir for providing the recordings for this evening's special ceremony. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Mark Murphy, principal at Lackawanna Trail Jr. Senior High School, and on behalf of our school board of directors, the administration, the faculty, and staff, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you and tonight's honored guests, our 7 early graduates who will receive their diploma tonight and conclude their studies at Lackawanna Trail. This is, of course, a very special evening for our graduates that marks the end of a very long year. A year that's been full of ups and downs, no doubt. And if that year has taught them anything, is how to handle adversity and make the best of an impossible situation. To work hard, no matter the obstacle, and to finish what you've started. COVID-19 has affected each one of our graduates differently, and yet these lions will forever share a common bond. Not one of them would have imagined graduating in a special ceremony in the middle of February with just 7 of their peers when they first entered kindergarten. Not one of them would have imagined their last classes at Lackawanna Trail would be taught not here in the high school, but instead virtually, through the use of one-to-one computing with a paperless exchange of ideas and assessments that would lead to the conferral of their degrees. I'm sure they dreamed of a traditional end to their senior year. One with a senior barbecue, class trip, prom, and class night. The opportunity to graduate in front of a large crowd at Lions Pride Stadium on a beautiful June night, maybe with a freshly inflated beach ball bouncing around as their principal droned on with his welcome address. But COVID had other plans. This virus doesn't seem to care about fairness or equality, or even a kindergartner's dreams. So while the parents and teachers and the administrators, we've all been grieving these students' losses, because we know these are special moments that they'll never get back, and we've searched desperately for ways to make something or anything whole again. These 7 graduates got busy. They weren't sulking, and they weren't licking their wounds. They spent very little time lamenting a dance that would never happen. Certainly less time worrying about the speech their principal wouldn't deliver in that stadium. Instead, they went into business. The lemonade business. Life supplied the lemons, and they began to squeeze. And realizing lemon juice doesn't sell very easily, they added sugar, and they built a stand, they made a sign, designed a logo, determined their business hours, and they made their first sale, and then another. And one good decision led them to the next decision, and then to the next, until they were presented just recently with the opportunity to graduate early, get a jump start on their career, or work to help their family, or to save a little money before going off to college. These graduates haven't used the pandemic to stay home and watch movies. They've used it as an opportunity to chart a path that no Lackawanna Trail graduate before them has traveled. They committed to finishing what they started in elementary school, which was earning a fully accredited high school diploma, and using that credential as an opportunity to create a brighter future. And so here you are, seniors. It's time for you to sell that lemonade stand and cash in on your profit in order to build something bigger. Sure, this may not be what you'd imagined all those years, but in many ways, we hope that it's more special. Because despite the obstacles, you have risen to the challenge and succeeded by any measure. And so tonight, we're going to recognize your accomplishments and conclude your study at Lackawanna Trail with the awarding of your diplomas. To the guests of our graduates, and those of you watching at home, on behalf of all of us at Lackawanna Trail, thank you. Thank you for sharing these students with us over the last 13 years. Thank you for allowing us to share in your joy. And thank you for raising such resilient people. Thank you for your patience with us this year, for working with your school, these students' counselors and their teachers, and most of all, thank you for supporting your graduate through this unprecedented journey. And graduates, this is your night. The first ever early graduates from Lackawanna Trail. You've earned that distinction and that opportunity, so enjoy every moment of it. Thank you for your hard work and determination, your humor, including some of the jokes you told me just moments ago, and your stick-to-itiveness. Thank you for teaching us along the way, as we have taught you, and on behalf of your entire school community, welcome to your commencement ceremony. Please join me in a round of applause for this small but mighty pride moment. I'm going to now invite Mr. Matthew Rakowskis, our superintendent of the Lackawanna Trail School District, to the podium to make his remarks to our graduates. Mr. Rakowskis.
Thank you, Dr. Murphy. President Mulhern, members of the Board of Education, Dr. Murphy, fellow administrators, faculty, parents, family, and most important, winter graduates from the class of 2021, it is an honor tonight to offer remarks at this special winter ceremony. It has been said that opportunities do not come around often, and I believe that to be true. Making the most of every opportunity and demonstrating perseverance are what I encourage each of you as graduates to embrace. Today, indeed, there are multiple opportunities before you. As Dr. Murphy said, you had an opportunity to graduate mid-year, and you took advantage of it. There are very few positives coming from this pandemic. However, graduating ahead of schedule is certainly one of them. Your hard work and your perseverance as students at Lackawanna Trail tonight has paid off. You made the most of the block schedule, completed all of your required classes, and earned enough credits to earn a diploma tonight. And for that, you are commended. However, what will you do when you're faced with the next challenge, the next opportunity, the next hurdle? Certainly, there are some opportunities and challenges that we can anticipate, and some we cannot. Rest assured, you will be ready. The education you received at Lackawanna Trail has prepared you well for whatever comes next. In that, you can rely. Exactly 1 week ago today, perseverance began roaming the surface of Mars, drilling holes, collecting rock samples, and sending pictures and data back to Earth. If you're not familiar with it, I'm speaking about NASA's recent mission to Mars. The appropriately named rover Perseverance completed an 8-month unmanned journey to the Red Planet. The robotic rover, nicknamed Percy, could not have been named anything more fitting. It launched in July, traveled 300 million miles through space, safely landed on Mars, and is now methodically completing its mission as a team of experts made the most of their opportunities and demonstrated their own perseverance. Ultimately, through the study of rock and soil samples, which will not reach the Earth until nearly a decade from now, Percy will have completed its mission. This indeed embodies perseverance and patience. The clips that some of you may have seen on television or YouTube show the flight crew on Earth crowded in the control room, celebrating as the unmanned craft landed on the surface of Mars. A national news correspondent noted an eruption of emotion and jubilation as the engineers watched the craft safely parachute to Mars. But what you don't see on that news clip, what you don't see in those segments, are months and months of around-the-clock, 24/7 work, along with the crew and everyone who helped support that mission. From the time that craft launched from Florida last summer until it reached its destination and touched down on Mars last week, teams of NASA workers painstakingly stayed the course, stepped up to every challenge, and made the most of the anticipated and unanticipated opportunities, demonstrating their perseverance to see that mission to its fruition. When I reflect upon what you, the 7 winter graduates of the class of 2021 have done, I recognize a parallel. You had to demonstrate perseverance for nearly a year now. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, more than a quarter of your junior year was lost. Most of your senior year heavily disrupted. And life outside of Lackawanna Trail for you, I'm sure, has been negatively impacted as well. Yet you stayed the course. You weathered the storm. Despite all this, you are the first graduates in 2021. I admire the fact that you made the most of the opportunities before you, and I commend you for your perseverance. Congratulations to each of you graduating tonight, representing the class of 2021. Your journey may not have been one of 300 million miles, but your destination tonight on this commencement stage is far more valuable. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Rakauskas. Thank you for supporting these graduates and recognizing their commitment to education and for being with us tonight to celebrate their accomplishment. In my book, they have traveled to the moon and back, and their perseverance is admirable, as you said so very well. I also believe it's fair to say that these are the first graduates of 2021 in northeastern Pennsylvania. Our school district continues to lead the way, and these are a shining example of it. So congratulations again. Mr. Mulhern, our president to the Board of Education at Lackawanna Trail, and Lackawanna Trail alumnus himself, is going to now address the graduates.
Good evening. It is a privilege and an honor to be before you here today in recognition of your graduation. There's an old saying, it takes a village. These few words reference all the hard work your parents, community members, teachers, administrators, neighbors, family, and friends have performed in your upbringing. You're finally here. It's now your turn to contribute to society. Looking forward is where you are all right now, planning your next step. college, military, workforce, the opportunities are endless. Pick what is right for you, but keep in mind it's all right to change your path, as long as you're still looking forward. The only time we want you to look back is at the fond memories you had being alive, whether it was an athlete, a musician, in a play, or even a bookworm. We hope you enjoyed your stay here at Tunnel Hill. It may have seemed like an eternity to get through the past 13 years, but you'll soon see it was a blip in time compared to what you will face next. To say the last year of your education has been in turmoil is an understatement. The task of online learning mixed with standard classrooms has now become the norm, not a futuristic task. Your resilience has proven this to be a successful operation. Typically, an undertaking like this is strategized by the Department of Education for years. Tests done in various districts, and still many bugs have to be worked out by the home schools. We did it all in motion with extreme success. A lot of the success is thanks to our administration, staff, and faculty, but mostly due to the hard work and diligence of our students, you guys. A dear friend of mine who mentored me when I was younger lived by the saying, if you look the part and act the part, you'll be the part. As I read into this, I used it myself. By looking the part, you dress for success. You don't go to an interview at a stone yard wearing flip-flops and sweatpants. The same as you wouldn't wear work boots to a yoga class. Acting the part, well, that takes some finesse. You will need to be positive and show defining interest in the task at hand. Do your research, be prepared, keep in mind you're selling yourself, not only for the here and now, maybe for the future. Don't make your first impression your last. I made this procession myself 34 years ago this upcoming May. Not too many faces around here are the same. Actually, very few are. The sentiment at hand, on the other hand, is there's always been a certain pride that carries these halls, hometown feeling you get when watching a movie. Some don't ever experience the joy of small community, the togetherness, the family ties, the unity. I hope you never forget we are all here for you if you ever need a hand. Moving ahead in life with lion pride is a good feeling. I hope you all hold it as dearly as I did. Godspeed and good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Mulhern. And on behalf of these graduates, I'd like to say thank you to our school board for their support of this ceremony, the first of its kind at Lackawanna Trail. As Mr. Mulhern and Mr. Rakowski said, these students have not had an easy go of it during their senior year, and yet they have persevered and prevailed. They've exhibited the heart of a lion and displayed that small town moxie that we call lion pride. They're ready to take on the world and carry the torch for our community. Most have already secured full-time employment and are chomping at the bit to receive their diploma, flip their tassel, and begin a new chapter for themselves. But it does take a village to make these things happen for these graduates. It takes good leadership from the board level on down, teachers and staff who are willing to face the challenges of the pandemic and provide opportunities and a path forward. So thank you for thinking outside the box. We are going to move on with the main event tonight, as I'm sure they're ready. They've waited long enough to receive these diplomas. So without further ado, let's certify the completion of their study and award each graduate with their high school diploma tonight. I'm going to now ask Mr. Rakowskis to return to the stage, to come to the podium, and certify these diplomas before us for these graduates. Mr. Rakowskis.
Thank you, Dr. Murphy. President Mulhern, I certify that the students who will receive a diploma this evening have met all of the academic criteria established by this Board of Education and the Pennsylvania Department of Education, and have therefore earned a fully accredited Lackawanna Trail diploma. In recognition of this achievement, I call Mrs. Kuchak to the podium to read the names of the Lackawanna Trail Winter graduates, the class of 2021, and distribute their diplomas on behalf of the Lackawanna Trail School District. Mrs. Kuchak.
Thank you, Mr. Bukowskis. It is my honor to introduce the graduates tonight. Ready? We will begin with Janelle Nicole Daniger. Janelle will be attending Keystone College in the fall, then continuing her higher education at the State University of New York to pursue a degree in nursing. Dalton Dakota Van Vleck Deacon. Dalton plans on staying in Northeastern PA and entering the workforce. Caleb Kenneth Earl. Caleb will be staying in Northeastern PA, working as a mechanic. Dominic Lenz. Dom will be entering the workforce in the field of manufacturing and building construction. Kristen Lynn Oakley. Kristen plans to work in the healthcare industry in Northeastern PA. Isabella Marie Peterzak. Isabella will be attending the Fortis Institute this spring, working toward an associate's degree, which will help her achieve her future goal of becoming a registered nurse. And Haley White. Haley will be staying in Northeastern PA and will be joining the workforce. Congratulations, graduates.
Okay, graduates, would you please stand? Signifying your commencement this evening and accepting your diplomas from the Lackawanna Trail School District, please move your tassel from left to right. And ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and pride that I introduce you to the newest alumni of the Lackawanna Trail School District, our early graduates, class of 2020. Thank you, graduates. You may be seated. And Mrs. Kuchak, our principal of student management, will now deliver the farewell address.
Thank you, Dr. Murphy. Good evening, families, friends, and distinguished guests. I'm Shannon Kuchak, Principal of Student Management. Tonight, it is my privilege to deliver this farewell address at Lackawanna Trail's first ever winter commencement ceremony. Graduates, I'm honored to be here celebrating this milestone. This last year has been a year like no other, and our graduates have proven that they are a class like no other. Despite all the obstacles that they have encountered throughout this pandemic, they stayed the course and completed this part of their journey ahead of schedule. They sit here tonight eager to begin the next part of their journey. And I know, and everyone here tonight knows, that you are ready for all that lies ahead. We are enormously proud of each of you. I hope you enjoy this day in this amazing time in your life. As you celebrate what you have accomplished, I encourage you to take the time to reflect on all the people who have played a part, whether big or small, in getting you to this point. For tonight's commencement is not only a celebration of all of your achievements, but also a chance to acknowledge those who have supported you every step of the way. Family, friends, coaches, teachers. Some of those very important people are here with you tonight in this audience and cheering you on from home. Graduates, be sure to take the opportunity to show them your gratitude, because nobody does it alone. As Mr. Mulhern just mentioned, it takes a village, or as we say here at Trail, it takes a pride. As someone who has taught most of you at one point during your time here at Trail, you're probably thinking that I can't wait to take one more opportunity to teach one more lesson or give one more piece of crucial advice to you before you go. Well, you'd be right. Sort of. What I want to leave you with is more of a wish that I have for you as you enter the next chapter of your lives. But if you find a lesson in it or a bit of advice, even better. Recently, I've been following Maria Shriver on social media, and I've reread her book, I've Been Thinking. In much of her writing, she talks about her desire to live a meaningful life. A meaningful life. Not to be confused with a happy life, though the two often do go hand in hand. Ms. Shriver's writing on this topic resonates with me, and I can think of no greater wish to have for you today. Graduates, I wish all of you a meaningful life. One where you discover what your special gifts and talents are, what really makes you unique and important. And I hope you discover ways to use those gifts to make positive contributions to the world. A meaningful life is not a perfect one, because the reality is, no one's life is as perfect as their Instagram feed. You're going to experience stress and challenges. There's no avoiding it. Part of living a meaningful life is finding the strength to get up, to try again, and to learn something from those experiences. It's knowing what's important to you and what isn't. Then, making what's important to you your purpose. There's only one you, and you have only one life. Class of 2021, I want to see you make your mark on this world by living a beautiful and meaningful life. Now the moment you've been waiting for, your cap toss. Everyone stand up. This part of tonight's ceremony best represents the excitement and sheer joy that our graduates have. Are you ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let them fly. Congratulations, graduates. We wish you all the best in your future.
Thank you, Mrs. Kuchak, and congratulations once again to the class of 2021. It's been an honor and a privilege to watch you learn and grow, and we wish you much success and happiness in the future. We're going to conclude tonight with a recessional. The audience is asked to remain seated, and your graduate will meet you at your seats. You may all exit the auditorium together. Please make sure to take plenty of pictures and enjoy these newly minted Lackawanna Trail diplomas. Graduates, you may exit the stage and join your families at this time. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
you. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. I think I got something to keep up. Come back and visit us, Gus. Thank you, Mrs. Brown.
There's nothing. There's no diplomas, no passing out. Do you want me to pick up these files?
No, we'll have the babies here. Thank you. Thanks for being around. Take it easy, stay safe, all right?